Hello crafting friends, let's work on my wooden pumpkin cutout, shall we? You know that I love details and I love little accents in all my projects. So I'm on a mission here to actually do the homemade crackle technique. So in order for you to have a nice looking crackle, you do want it to paint your surface a darker color, dry it really well, and then apply your Mod Podge or Elmer's glue. In this project, I am going to actually use the Mod Podge just because it was handy, and I do know that anything sticky is going to work because I've done it. So, but notice this time around, I am applying my Mod Podge in a roundish sort of motion, not going straight up and down. I'm trying to make a little angle to it because I would like to have some kind of a dimension to my flat pumpkin. And then without even drying my Mod Podge, I am going to apply the coat of the paint. And I am using a chalk paint in there, but it does work with the acrylic paint too. And I'm applying it again, as you can see, is in a roundish sort of a motion because I do want to have that pumpkin to have that, three-dimensional look. And now it's all about drying. You can see it right off the bat that the crackles start to pop and appear. It takes a little while, I would say a good minute, and you do not want to burn your paint, but you do want it to make sure that your paint is dry and a Mod Podge right under there. And look how awesome the crackle is. And the crackle is actually rounded. Super pleased with the way that whole thing looks. So now I decided to simply use my paintbrush that still have a leftover black paint on it and just simply highlight some more very gently over that crackle that we just created. And I am actually loving it. So I decided to simply only add my wax to protect it, but you can add another coat of the Mod Podge to make sure that your project is sealed and protected. But of course, as soon as I started to add the wax, I decided that I may actually try to want to add some details with my darker wax. So guess what? I went to my dark wax and I just simply outlined it again, the areas I was highlighting with the paint. Absolutely love it the way it looks. So I'm going to play around. I love to play with wax. Wax is not only bringing that nice grunge sort of a look to it, but it also brings a dimension to your project. So a little bit of action with the dry paper towel just to wipe it off and make sure that my highlights are nice and soft. Playing a little bit here and there because I wiped it there. And of course, softening it all up. And now look at this, my flat surface of pumpkin has some dimension. And of course, there will be no project if I will not squeeze some gold here and there. So I am thinning my rub and buff here and there. And of course, softening it up with clear wax and of course, wiping it off slightly with the paper towels. I am absolutely loving it. My flat pumpkin is not flat no more. My crackle is sort of on the roundish side. I've added some dimension, some highlights. I'm loving it. Okay, so now let's just simply quickly decorate this. I love to keep things simple and just simply use the raffia. I'm loving it the way it is, but of course I need to bring some a little bit more of a detail. So I decided to tie the simplest bow ever right over the raffia, bring some leaves, and of course a little flower because I am a flower girl. But of course you can add your bow, you can add any embellishments that you like in there. So let's see how all plays out if the plan is working. I am absolutely loving it. Did not want to take away from my texture and little details we worked on the pumpkin. So I decided to go with obviously very neutral details. So a little bit of flare to the tails of my bow, and I think I am done. But of course, I had to have a peek all on my table and see if anything else I could add. And look at this, I found the sign says Hello Autumn. So I decided to add it, and of course, there has to be a bling. And I am actually loving it. Of course, I need to save some raffia that was on my table. And let's make the pictures and let's look at the close-up. So here it is. I'm absolutely loving it. I mean, it does have a dimension on it. Maybe my stem is not visible as much, but I do want to work on the back of this pumpkin, so stay tuned for the part 2. But in the meantime, I so hope that I inspired you, and I so hope that you're going to try 3-dimensional Crackle with all your projects. Thanks for watching. Bye.